The Portland Trail Blazers were one of the worst teams in the entire NBA last season, but this year they've shown flashes of improvement. With a young core featuring Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, the future is starting to look a little brighter. So today we're taking over as GM, and I'm going to rebuild the Portland Trail Blazers into legit championship contenders in NBA 2K25. Deni Avdija is another player that's shown a bunch of potential for the Portland Trail Blazers. These last few weeks, he's been absolutely balling out. He had a triple-double here against the Atlanta Hawks, a 32-point triple-double to be exact, and he's had a bunch of double-doubles, so he could possibly be the #1 option on a championship team in the future, depending on how he continues progressing. And another steal that the Portland Trail Blazers got was Toumani Camara, who was selected as the 22nd overall pick in the second round in 2023, but he's formed into one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And of course, we still have Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, and Donovan Clingan, 3 more players with a bunch of potential. So things do seem pretty bright for the Portland Trail Blazers going forward. We have a lot of good players, we have a perfect starting 5, in the future: Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Toumani Camara, Deni Avdija, and Donovan Clingan. And as long as they progress as we would hope for them to progress, we could be winning a championship in the next few seasons. Also, if you guys do enjoy 2K rebuilds, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you're new. That supports out my channel a ton. So right now, the Portland Trail Blazers are the number 12 seed with 35 wins and 46 losses, which means we're not going to be a play-in team this season. There's 1 game remaining, but that's alright because we should get ourselves a lottery pick hopefully, as long as we have our own pick. So at the end of this season, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP, Stephon Castle wins Rookie of the Year, 6th Player of the Year goes to Naz Reid, Dyson Daniels Defensive Player, Christian Braun Most Improved, Jokic gets Clutch Player, Mark Coach of the Year, and OKC gets Executive of the Year. I don't think we're going to be having any awards here, of course, but that is alright. Our team is still young, a lot of progressing needs to happen. In the next few seasons, we should be seeing some players here, but we do get Donovan Clingan on all-rookie second team. Here are the player stats for the regular season. The leading scorer on our team was Anthony Simons, averaging 19 a night, 19 points per game from Shaedon Sharpe, 17 from Deni Avdija, 15 from Ayton, 15 from Grant, 13 from Scoot, and 11 from Toumani Camara. Now let's see who's going to go on to win the 2025 NBA Championship. And it's the New York Knicks versus the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves go on to win a championship, with Anthony Edwards winning Finals MVP. Jersey retirements: Kyle Lowry's jersey is retired by the Toronto Raptors. League meetings, we're going to decline all of this year, reject everything. Now it's time for the draft lottery. I'm not sure if we have ourselves a first round pick, but let's find out. And we do have our own first round pick in the 2025 NBA draft, projected with the 10th best odds. So let's see where we land. And where did we land? Whoa, we got the first overall pick from the 10th odd. Holy cow. I was not expecting that, but I'll take it. We were projected to get the 10th overall pick, and somehow we jumped up all the way from 10 to #1. And you guys know that's not fake, because I did simulate pass through jersey retirements and league meetings, and then we went to draft lottery, so there's no way I could have faked that. I've never seen something as crazy as that happen to me before. I have seen myself projected to get the first overall pick and end up falling to 10, but never the other way around, so that's really good that happened. But we're gonna be selecting someone amazing in the 2025 NBA draft. That means we can get ourselves somebody like Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, or Ace Bailey. I do want to upgrade our head coach. Chauncey Billups is a 77 head coach overall, so I'm going to fire him and get ourselves Michael Stoffer for now. He's really the only good head coach we can get. And then next offseason, we'll try acquiring ourselves someone like Joe Mazzulla or Jason Kidd, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be free agents next offseason. But now it's time for the NBA draft. I'm still so shocked that we ended up with a first overall pick. I thought we would probably remain with the 10th overall pick or fall below the 10th overall pick, but who would have known that we were going to end up with the first overall pick? That means we're either going to be selecting ourselves Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, or Ace Bailey. I'm not sure which one of these three would be the better pick, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be choosing either Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey. Dylan Harper would be a decent selection as well, but we already have two amazing guards in Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe. So I think we're going to be selecting Cooper Flagg with the first overall pick. He could possibly be our starting small forward going forward. He obviously will be in our starting lineup. And that means we'll probably push Toumani Camara to be our sixth man. But that is absolutely insane. I'm still shocked that we ended up with a first overall pick. That is absolutely insane. The Pelicans have the second overall pick and they take Ace Bailey. And then the Hornets take Dylan Harper. So the Hornets now have Brandon Miller, LaMelo, and Dylan Harper, three guards, which is going to be pretty messy. But let's go ahead and sim to the end. And that is insane. We end up with Cooper Flagg, the first overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. We're going to have him on our team throughout the rest of this rebuild. Team player options, we are going to be picking up the team option on Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson. Matisse Thybulle accepts his player option. $11.5 million is a lot. Chris Murray, I guess we could pick it up. We don't really need him. And the same as Ryan Rupert. So actually, let's let Chris Murray and Ryan Rupert walk since they're not going to be a part of our rotation anyways. Do we have to bring back anyone in free agency? Sidis, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but we don't need him. Jabari Walker, we could go ahead and give the qualifying offer to. I'm not sure if he'll be a part of our rotation, but I guess we'll see. We only have around $5 million we can spend in free agency. There is some pretty big moves I want to make this offseason. One of the moves is trading away Jeremy Grant and clearing up $32 million in salary, and also trading away DeAndre Ayton and clearing up $35 million in salary. If we trade away both DeAndre Ayton and Jeremy Grant, I think that should open up a slot to get ourselves a max player. Someone like LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Julius Randle. We should be able to get anyone after we trade away those two players. I'm going to be pulling off this trade here with the Washington Wizards, where we send them Jeremy Grant in a second round pick for the 2027 unprotected Washington's first round pick and Noah. Now I'm also going to see what we could get in return for DeAndre Ayton, and that should clear up a lot of salary cap for us, hopefully. It should clear up around $30 million, which means we should be able to get someone like Quentin Grimes, Josh Giddey, or John Collins. I decided for now we're going to keep DeAndre Ayton on our team. The reason for that is, even if we trade him away and free up some salary, signing any of these players wouldn't really make much sense to our team right now. Because what we're tanking on at the moment is player development. We want our players to be progressing, the younger players, so getting a max player and bringing him on our team would really mess things up. So for now, we're going to keep DeAndre Ayton on our team. He'll probably be our backup center behind Donovan Clingan. But a player that I would love to bring on our team is Justin Champagnie. It looks like the Washington Wizards waived him, which means we can sign him for fairly cheap. He's a really good defender, good three-point shooter, and an amazing rebounder. So let's go ahead and sign him. We do need a backup power forward at the moment, and he would be that perfect player, and he accepts 2 years, $5 million. Robert Williams is a player we won't be needing in our rotation since we have DeAndre Ayton and Donovan Clingan, so we're going to be trading him to the Utah Jazz for 2 first-round picks, both unprotected, which is absolutely amazing, and just like that we get ourselves 2 more first-round picks. Now I'm going to be signing a bunch of vets in free agency. That way we have some veteran presence coming off the bench or just sitting on the bench and helping out our young players. I'm going to sign players like Patrick Beverley on the minimum contract, get a bunch of vets, and I'll see you guys either at player progression or the start of next season. A few players on our team are open to signing contract extensions, so I'm going to be getting that out of the way. One of the players is Anthony Simons. He wants around $20 million a year. We should be able to lower that down to hopefully around $18 million. And we can lower it down to 18.25, and he accepts. DeAndre Ayton wants around $17 million, which is actually a really good deal for Ayton. So we're also going to be extending him. We can lower that down to $16 million and he also accepts. Toumani Camara is a player that I would like to lock up for now. So let's go ahead and also give him a 2-year contract worth $18 million a year and he also accepts. So we have all 3 of these players signed for the next 3 to 4 seasons. Player progression is looking absolutely amazing. A lot of progression from our young players. As you guys can see, Scoot Henderson is now up to 86 overall, Shaedon Sharpe's an 85, and Donovan Clingan is an 83 overall. We're definitely ready for this up and coming season, so I'll see you guys at the start of this coming season with our upgraded roster. And here we are at the start of this season with our upgraded roster. Our starting lineup is going to include Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Cooper Flagg, Deni Avdija, and Donovan Clingan. And off the bench, we're going to have Anthony Simons, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, and Justin Champagnie. We're going to be running a 9-man rotation so far and see how things play out. I'm not sure who our number 1 option will be for us this first season, but I do think it'll either be Cooper Flagg or Scoot Henderson going forward, depending on which player plays better, of course. But let's simulate the first week and see how things go, and we win the first 3 games of this season against the Pelicans, the Nuggets, and the Phoenix Suns, so clearly that's a really good sign. Game 1, Simons put up 21, Sharpe had 18, Cooper Flagg in his NBA debut put up 16 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. Scoot Henderson fouled out in 17 minutes, but he still played absolutely amazing. I'm excited to see how our team plays out in the second game against the Nuggets. Avdija put up 31 points, 23 from Simons, 20 from Scoot, and 16 from Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg also put up 17 points against the Phoenix Suns. Now I'm going to start simulating until the end of this season and see how we do. But of course, if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you guys. And oh man, we're being offered Devin Booker for Deni Avdija and Ayton. And you guys may call me crazy, but we are going to pass up on this trade for now. And that's because I want to see how our young players progress and see if one of them could end up being a number 1 option on this team. If none of them are able to be the number 1 option, then of course we'll trade for a player like Devin Booker to help our offense. But as of right now, I'm going to be hoping that one of our young players steps up going forward. So I was just checking our draft capital and we have a bunch of first round picks in the 2027 NBA draft. We have the Washington Wizards first round pick, the LA Lakers first round pick, we have our own first round pick, and the Utah Jazz's first round pick. And I'm pretty sure the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards are going to be losing a bunch of games. So we may be getting ourselves 2 lottery picks. I'm not sure if we should be trading these picks away or we keep them and draft some more good young players. I decided to stop here at the trade deadline and I'm going to be targeting Brandon Miller from the Charlotte Hornets to bring on our team to be our brand new starting shooting guard. There's a few reasons I'm looking to move Shaedon Sharpe. One of the reasons is he doesn't want to re-sign with our team, he wants to be a free agent. The second reason is he's not really a good defender or a good 3-point shooter. He is shooting the ball pretty good from the 3-point line this season, but his 3-point shot in general is a 79 overall. I've seen in the past in 2K simulation, Shaedon Sharpe does not develop a 3-point shot. And he's not a good defender either, so getting ourselves like Brandon Miller to fill in his shoes would be absolutely perfect. Let's see what the Charlotte Hornets say for this trade where we send them Shaedon Sharpe for Brandon Miller. They do decline, but this is where our first round picks should come in handy. 1 first round pick, they still decline. 2 first round picks, they still decline. I don't want to give up the LA Lakers pick in case it ends up being a high pick in the lottery. So let's try giving up our own 2029. They still decline. Let's throw in some second rounders and hopefully get them to agree. And they do. So just like that, we got ourselves Brandon Miller as our brand new starting shooting guard. Let's go. And this is going to be our new rotation. We have Brandon Miller now at that shooting guard position. There was a few reasons. Again, we traded Shaedon Sharpe. One of the main reasons was his defense and the other was his 3-point shooting. He was shooting good from the 3-point line, but he was barely taking any 3-pointers, and that's the main reason he was shooting 38%. Whereas Brandon Miller ends up developing a really good shot in 2K simulation, Shaedon Sharpe does not. And we need good shooters in our starting lineup, especially since Cooper Flagg isn't the best 3-point shooter himself. So now I'll be simulating until the end of this season. Let's see what we can do in the playoffs. Scoot Henderson wants to sign a contract extension with our team, so we're going to go ahead and give him a 4-year contract extension and get that out of the way. He wants around $34 million, but we could lower it down to around $30 million, which is going to be absolutely amazing, because Scoot Henderson ends up progressing into a really good player. And he declines, so we're going to have to higher that from $30 million. Let's try $30.5 million, which he accepts. Here we are at the end of this season where Wemby goes on to win his first MVP, averaging 27 and 14 rebounds. Cooper Flagg wins Rookie of the Year, that's what I'm talking about. He was averaging 15 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and almost 3 stocks, so he had an amazing season. His efficiency was good, the only place he struggled at was his 3-point shooting. James Harden, 6th Player of the Year with the OKC Thunder, so he's back where he started. In the 6-man role with the OKC Thunder. That's amazing to see. He'll probably be retiring there, which is pretty cool. Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Montez Buzelis. Most Improved, Shea wins Clutch Player, Jason Kidd Coach, and the Spurs win Executive of the Year. I don't think we'll be having any All-NBA selections, which is totally fine by me. And we don't get anyone on All Defensive Team, but we do get Cooper Flagg on All Rookie Team. That's going to be it for awards, and we ended the season as the number 4 seed. In round number 1, we're going to be taking on the Golden State Warriors. But before we get into the playoffs, let me show you guys our player stats for the regular season. So the leading scorer on our team was Scoot Henderson, averaging 19 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. He had an amazing season, amazing efficiency, 35% from the 3-point line, 50% from the field. And then right behind him was Brandon Miller, averaging 18 points per game on amazing efficiency, shooting a career high to almost 38% from the 3-point line. Deni Avdija was absolutely amazing, averaging 18 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 39% from the 3-point line. Anthony Simons is an amazing 6-man, and we should keep him as our 6-man going forward. I don't plan on trading him anytime soon. I'm surprised he didn't win 6th Player of the Year because he definitely should have. He was averaging 17 points per night on amazing efficiency. And then we had Cooper Flagg in his rookie season averaging 15, 6, and 5. Amazing season from him as well. DeAndre Ayton in the backup center role was averaging 11 points, 8 boards. Amazing backup center to have on our team. Kamara did struggle from the 3-point line, but his defense was amazing. Donovan Clingan, his field goal percentage wasn't the best, and start off this season it was absolutely horrible. He was shooting around 40% before the All-Star break, but he did start shooting a little better going forward into the second half of this season. But now let me fix up the player minutes and let's get right into the playoffs. This year is the rotation we're going to be running with in the playoffs. The CPU does want us to start DeAndre Ayton over Donovan Clingan, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing because he is shooting the ball a lot better, and obviously DeAndre Ayton already has playoff experience. We're going to be running Scoot, Brandon Miller, Cooper Flagg, Avdija, and Ayton in our starting lineup, and off the bench we have Simmons, Clingan, Kamara, and Champagnie. Now we're facing up against the Golden State Warriors who have been to the playoffs many times, won many championships. So obviously they have championship and playoff experience. They have Steph Curry, Podziemski, Josh Okogie, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do fall short. They beat us by 9 points. Miller had 20, so did Cooper Flagg, but we lost. And we also lose game number 2, and we're down 3-0. We are not swept. We do push it to a game 5, but we do lose in game number 5 to the Golden State Warriors. I mean, all of our players on our team are young. None of them are experienced in the playoffs. So that was kind of expected. We don't really have a number 1 option either. We didn't have a single player averaging over 20 points per game in the regular season. So this was expected, but Brandon Miller in the playoffs did play amazing. The 5 games we played, here are the player stats. And the Golden State Warriors have been to the playoffs many times, so of course I didn't expect to be getting very far in the first playoff run that we have. Thunder versus Knicks, and the Thunder go on to win a championship, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Finals MVP. This whole time I was thinking these picks from the Wizards, Lakers, and the Utah Jazz are 2026 draft picks, but they're not. They're the 2027 draft picks, which means we don't have ourselves a single first round pick this offseason. And honestly, that may be a good thing, because depending on how the Wizards, Lakers, and Utah Jazz play, these picks may have a really high trade value, which means we could use these to go get ourselves a superstar once this coming season starts. But obviously that all depends on how they play. But now let's go to staff signing. I am going to be getting ourselves a new head coach. Michael Stauffer isn't a real coach. I believe he's a computer generated coach. And we can get ourselves somebody like Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd. Now we're going to be targeting a real head coach to bring on our team. So I am going to go ahead and offer Joe Mazzulla a contract, and the same for Jason Kidd, and see which one of them accepts. Well, hopefully one of them accepts, because that would be absolutely amazing. If not, we could always re-sign Michael Stauffer. Will Hardy is here. Mark is here, the OKC Thunder head coach, so we could possibly offer him a contract as well. He has been playing really good with the OKC Thunder, so let's see which one of the three coaches will accept. And Mark is going to be accepting, which is absolutely amazing. So now we get the OKC Thunder's head coach as our own. Team player options, of course, we're going to be picking up the team option on Brandon Miller and Donovan Clingan, who we still have for the next 2 years. Qualifying offers, we don't need Duop Reith, so let's scratch that. But let's see if we need to bring back anyone in free agency. And we really don't. Duop Reith is the only free agent, and of course we don't need him. Let's see how much money we have. So we can spend around $47 million in free agency, which I did not expect. But Luka Doncic wants a lot more than $47 million, so sadly we won't be getting a player like Luka Doncic. I'm going to be offering Chet Holmgren a 4-year contract. Hopefully he does accept this. He is a restricted free agent, which means the OKC Thunder could match the same contract we offered him. But they do need to re-sign Jalen Williams as well, so hopefully they don't have enough money to re-sign both of them. Let's see if we're going to be getting Chet Holmgren. So we are able to get Chet Holmgren. I also offered Malik Beasley and John Collins a contract, but the OKC Thunder could still match, and of course they matched Chet Holmgren's offer and we're not getting him. I decided to just give Malik Beasley and Bobby Portis Jr. 2-year contracts. We could possibly use these contracts in trades going forward, or they could just be that veteran presence on our team, which we need. I was checking to see what players want to sign contract extensions, and you guys are not going to believe how much money some of these role players on our team want. Donovan Clingan right now is an 84 overall, but bro was shooting 47% from the field, and he wants $31 million for shooting 47% from the field, being a 7'2" big man. Anthony Simons, all he does is play offense. He's only good at offense, and he wants $30 million as well. So just because of that reason, we're definitely trading away Anthony Simons for a cheaper 6-man. We don't need a 6-man who we're paying $30 million a year to. DeAndre Ayton also wants around $22 million, but we do have him for the next 2 years, so I'm not worried about him. Brandon Miller wants $36 million, so we're going to have to pay a lot of players right now. The only 2 players I'm going to be giving a contract extension to is Brandon Miller and Donovan Clingan, because I do want them to be a part of our future. But if Donovan Clingan continues shooting the ball below 50%, we may look to move on from him, but as of right now, I will give him around a 3-year contract. Let's lower it down to $27 million, and he won't accept that. 27.5, and he declines that as well, so I'm going to make that a 2-year contract actually. $27.5 million he accepts. And Brandon Miller, let's see how low we can get his contract extension to. He wants around $34 million, and he accepts a 4-year $34 million a year. But DeAndre Ayton we're not extending, and Anthony Simons I'm going to trade right now. We're going to be trading away Anthony Simons to the Houston Rockets for 2 first-round picks. One of the first-round picks is the Phoenix Suns first-round unprotected in 2027, and the others is with the Brooklyn Nets swap best. Anthony Simons was asking for $30 million, and that's the only reason I'm sending him away. We're definitely not paying a 6-man $30 million who can't play defense at all. So there you go to the Houston Rockets, maybe they'll pay you. We do not have ourselves a backup point guard anymore, so I am going to be signing Davion Mitchell, who's an amazing perimeter defender. We do need to upgrade our defense since we had pretty bad defense this past season. Keon Ellis is another player who I'm kind of interested by. He wants a lot less money than Davion Mitchell, so actually we're going to go ahead and offer Keon Ellis a 2-year contract. Let's see if he accepts, and he does. We get him for 2 years, $18 million. Here we are at the start of this season with our upgraded roster. There was a lot of progression from our young players. Scoot Henderson went up a ton in overall, so did Cooper Flagg and Donovan Clingan. We're going to be running a 9-man rotation, and our starting lineup is going to include Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, Cooper Flagg, Danny Avdia, and Donovan Clingan. And off the bench, we're going to have Toumani Camara, DeAndre Ayton, Bobby Portis Jr., and Keon Ellis. I did simulate past the first week, which we had 4 games to play, and we won 3 of the 4 games. We beat the Boston Celtics by almost 40 points, where Brandon Miller dropped 26 points, Scoot had 24, and 22 from Cooper Flagg. I'm not sure who our number 1 option will be for us this season, but it's either going to be Scoot Henderson or Cooper Flagg. At the moment, both of their shot tendencies are exactly the same, but depending on which player from the two plays better, I will hire their shot tendency and make them a number 1 option. But now I'm going to be simulating until the end of this season, where I think we're going to be a lot better than we were the previous season. But if there's trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you guys. I stopped here in the first week of January, and we're going to be pulling off a trade here with the Dallas Mavericks. There's a few reasons why we're pulling off this trade. One of the reasons is Donovan Clingan has just been horrible for us offensively, shooting 45% from the field, even worse than the previous season. He's a 7'2" big man shooting 45% from the field. So we're going to trade him for Derek Lively II, who's going to be our brand new starting center. As you guys can see, he's shooting 66% from the field, which is a huge upgrade. He's also only 22 years old. Donovan Clingan's 22 years old, so it's not like we're trading away a young player for an older player. We're also going to be sending away DeAndre Ayton for Daniel Gafford. This trade is more for defensive reasons. Daniel Gafford is a way better defender than Ayton is, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade, and we basically swapped both of our big men for both of their big men. And we're also going to be trading away Toumani Camara. Again, another player who's been playing horrible offensively. He's shooting 28% from the 3-point line. Last season, he shot just 32%. Toumani Camara in real life obviously is a really good player, but in 2K simulation, he's not good at all. So that's the only reason we're going to be trading him. I don't want Scottie Pippen Jr., and I don't want to give up this valuable first-round pick. So let's try swapping Toumani Camara for Jalen Wells, who's an amazing 3-and-D small forward. And they do decline. They want that first round pick really badly, but I'm gonna try keeping that out if we can. I will throw in a few second rounders and see if that gets it done. Now they want 2 first round picks, which is definitely not happening. But I will give 2 more second round picks and see if that changes anything. And it does. So we got ourselves a brand new backup small forward in Jalen Wells. With just those 2 trades, I believe our roster has gotten a lot better. This is what our rotation will be looking like for the second half of the season. Our starting lineup is going to remain exactly the same, except we added Derek Lively II. And off the bench, we're going to have Jalen Wells, Daniel Gafford, Bobby Portis Jr., and Keon Ellis. We should be a way better team than we were. I stopped here in the first week of January because we weren't playing too good. We only won 19 games and lost 17. When in reality, with the type of roster we've had, we should at least be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 seed even, but we were the number 6 seed. But we should be a lot better now, and I'll be simulating until the end of this season. I was looking at free agents who we could sign and bring on our team to help us win now mid-season, And a player by the name of Ian Jackson is currently a free agent. I really don't know who he is, but he was a second round pick in the 2025 draft, and it looks like his team waived him. So now he's a free agent. He has an A+ 3-point shot, and that's a main reason we're going to be signing him. We're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league right now, and a player like Ian Jackson should help us with our 3-point shooting. He could come off the bench, play around 15 minutes per night, hopefully provide us with some good 3-pointers. So we're going to sign him on a 3-year contract, $3.8 million a year, which is a pretty good contract for him. He's a really good 3-point shooter, and that's going to be it for the free agents that I sign. Earlier in the season, I also signed Mike Conley. I wanted a new backup point guard because Keon Ellis was not a good playmaker and he was turning the ball over way too many times. But when I signed Mike Conley, he wasn't playing all that good either. He's shooting 23% from the 3-point line. So now we're going to try with Ian Jackson. I moved his position from shooting guard to point guard. He did go 1 down in overall, but that's all right. I'm not going to sign any more free agents. I also did sign Dorian Finney-Smith in case we need him in the playoffs or in the regular season, because there is games where Bobby Portis Jr. struggles shooting the ball. At the end of this season, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes on to win MVP, Cam Boozer wins Rookie of the Year with the Chicago Bulls, Trae Young, 6th player, Wemby wins Defensive Player, Cooper Flag wins Most Improved. Let's go. And as you guys can see, he was averaging 23 points per game, 9 rebounds and 6 assists, as well as 2 steals and 1.5 block. Amazing season from Cooper Flag. Cade wins Clutch Player, Billy Donovan wins Coach of the Year, and John Murphy wins Executive. And let's see if we get any All-NBA selections, and we do get Cooper Flag on All-NBA second team. Let's go. We also get Scoot Henderson on All-NBA third team. That's what I'm talking about. And we also get Cooper Flag on All-Defensive second team. And that's going to be it for awards. We do end up as the number 4 seed, and we're taking on the Golden State Warriors once again. Last playoffs they defeated us, but hopefully this time around we can beat them. We had a record of 49 wins and 33 losses. Let me show you guys our player stats before we start simulating the playoffs. And here are the player stats for our team. The number 1 scoring option on this team was Cooper Flag, averaging 23 points per game. Right behind him was Scoot Henderson, averaging 21 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists. So Scoot Henderson took on the role of being the playmaker, and he did a fantastic job. Brendan Miller was averaging 17.5, 15 from Danny Avdija, 11.5 from Derek Lively. Derek Lively was an amazing get for our team, and the same as Daniel Gafford. He's averaging almost 10 points per game off of the bench. But now let me fix up the player minutes and let's get right into the playoffs. I fixed up the players here for the playoffs. This is what the player minutes will be looking like. And Ian Jackson, we got a steal on him. We got him for so cheap, and he's been playing absolutely amazing, shooting 41% from the 3-point line, 47% from the field. He's an amazing backup point guard, and he should remain our backup point guard for the rest of the video, especially since we're only paying him around $3.8 to $4 million a year. But now let's get into the playoffs. It's time for revenge. To show the Golden State Warriors we're not the same team that we were the past season. This is what their starting lineup is looking like. They have Curry, Pajemski, they got themselves Ojai Abaji, Jimmy Butler, Trace Jackson. They also got Dante DiVincenzo, who's averaging 16 points per game off the bench. So this team is not a bad team whatsoever. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Scoot Henderson drops 25 points, Miller with 23, Avdija with 20 and 10. Cooper Flag 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. Game number 2, we also win. We win game 3, and we do not sweep them, but do we gentlemen sweep them? Yes, we do. So we gentlemen swept the Golden State Warriors this time around. The leading scorer for the 5 games we played in the first round was Cooper Flag, averaging a 26-point double-double. 3 assists shy of averaging a triple-double. Amazing first few games for Cooper Flag. He is struggling from the 3-point line, but that is alright. Scoot is averaging 23 and then 21 from Danny Avdija, but now we're going to be going up against the OKC Thunder, who basically have the same exact team, the starting 5, but they did add Darren Peterson, who was the 3rd overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft. So this team is just going to continue getting better. Darren Peterson's still a rookie, so in the next season or two, he's going to progress probably up to a 90 overall. Right now they have Shea, Peterson, Williams, Chet, and Isaiah Hartenstein in their starting lineup, and this is their bench. Let's see what happens here in round number 2. We do lose game number 1. Shea drops 39 and 13 on us. Brandon Miller had 26, but we did fall short. We also lose game number 2. Cooper Flag had 26, but for some reason he only played 31 minutes, even though I've assigned him a lot more than that. We are going to come up with a defensive coach game plan. Perhaps I should have done that earlier. We should have had Brandon Miller guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to begin with, but that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I came up with a defensive coach game plan. I also moved around some of the player minutes, and I also switched up our bench rotation a bit. So I did add Bobby Portis Jr. coming off of our bench for scoring reasons. Dorian Finney-Smith was playing good, but I think Bobby Portis could do a lot better, and Bobby Portis Jr. is an 84 overall. And I also put Matisse Thybulle coming off our bench playing 16 minutes a game for defensive reasons. Ian Jackson's a good offensive player, but right now we need defense. In the playoffs, we're one of the worst defensive teams, so Matisse Thybulle should hopefully help with that at least a little bit. But now let's see what happens here in game number 3, where we did come up with a defensive coach game plan. So the OKC Thunder won their first 2 games when they had home court advantage. Now the next 2 games will have home court advantage, and we do end up winning and playing amazing defense, holding them to 103 points. Cooper Flag had 36, 26-point double-double from Scoot, 19-point double-double from Avdia. Let's see our defense. Jalen Williams still played good. We did hold Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to 20 points, 5 of 12 shooting, and Darren Peterson to 6 of 17 shooting, so that's amazing. And we held Chet Holmgren to only 11 points. But hopefully we can win this next game and tie up the series. We do have home court advantage once again, and they do have the lead at this moment, but we take it right back and end up winning by 4 points. Cooper Flag leads the way once again with 30 points, 19 from Lively, 18 from Avdia, and Shea played amazing. Their whole team, well, we did slow down J-Dub, which is amazing. We held him to 3 of 12 shooting. Let's go. I forget who's guarding. Okay, Cooper Flag is guarding Jalen Williams, so amazing defense from Cooper Flag. But let's see if we can go up 3-2, and we do not. We do lose game 5 by just 1 single point. Scoot Henderson had 35, Cooper Flag had 23, and Avdia also had 23. And honestly, we shouldn't have signed Bobby Portis Jr. He hasn't done much of anything positive for our team. The 3 games we played him in the playoffs, he played absolutely horrible. So I'm going to take him out of the rotation once again. In the regular season, I thought he would be a good 3-point shooter, but he was shooting 34%. So we honestly signed him for no reason. We wasted money on him. It is what it is. I'm going to sub him out for Dorian Finney-Smith. We will be trading away Bobby Portis Jr. this offseason. Matisse Thybulle will stay in. Jalen Wells is another player who's been playing horrible so far, so I'm not sure if I'm going to leave him in our rotation or not. I switched up the player minutes a little bit in the same with our rotation. I did take out Jalen Wells. He's been playing pretty bad in the playoffs, as you guys can see, shooting 23% from the 3-point line. He's a good defender, but we also need some offense off of our bench, so I subbed him out for Malik Beasley, who's an elite 3-point shooter. Dorian Finney-Smith and Matisse Thybulle will also be in our 9-man rotation, for defensive reasons obviously. And now let's see if we can tie up the series and push things to a game 7, or are we being eliminated here in the second round? And so far the OKC Thunder have the lead on us, and they are going to be eliminating us. They beat us by 4 points. Scoot had 18 points, 10 rebounds, Brandon Miller had 16. Cooper Flag struggled, shooting 3 of 19 from the field. It is what it is. We're going to try going for a championship, of course, next season. Let's see who's going to go on to win the championship. The OKC Thunder versus the Hawks, and the Hawks sweep the OKC Thunder with De'Aaron Fox winning Finals MVP. They no longer have Trae Young. They have De'Aaron Fox coming off their bench, which is pretty insane. And they do end up winning the championship. So what I'm planning on doing for this coming season is choosing who our number 1 option is going to be. Is it going to be Cooper Flag, or is it going to be Scoot Henderson? And from what I think, it's going to be Cooper Flag, so we probably will be raising his shot tendency all the way up to 99, where hopefully he could be averaging around 25 to 30 points per game. Then Scoot Henderson, we're going to keep as our point guard, hopefully average around 20 points per game and 10 assists. So we're going to have Scoot Henderson as a primary ball handler / playmaker, and Cooper Flag as our main scorer, number one option. But now we're here in the off season. Let me overturn a few retirements, and then I'll see you guys either at the draft lottery or free agency. 3 legends are becoming Hall of Famers: Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook. And all 3 players get their jersey retired by their former teams as well. League meetings, everything is already rejected. Do we have any first round picks? I'm not sure if we do. It looks like we do. Whoa, we have the 2nd and 3rd projected picks in the 2027 NBA draft. Is this a 2000? Yes, it is a 2027. I'm not sure if those picks are protected, but we have Utah Jazz's pick and the Los Angeles Lakers, which I did not know about. And we end up with the 2nd overall pick and the 5th overall pick. We also get pick number 17, 18, and 25. Whoa, and 22. So we end up with a lot of first round picks. The 2nd overall pick, I'm not sure who we're going to be selecting, but that is absolutely amazing. And since we already have ourselves players like Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, and Cooper Flag, what I'm planning on doing is pulling off a really big trade with these first round picks that we acquired and go get ourselves a superstar that could be the number 2 option behind Cooper Flag. Let's go see what type of superstars are on the market and we can acquire on our team. I also decided to fire our head coach, and we're going to be targeting Nick Nurse to be our brand new head coach. I think with the team we had, only making it to the 2nd round with Mark as our head coach was not good at all. So we're going to be targeting some new head coaches here. The first one is going to be Nick Nurse. Michael Stauffer is also here, who we could offer a contract to and see if he's going to accept. Jacob Underwood's here, and Ty Lue is also here. So let's go ahead and throw Ty Lue a contract. We'll also throw Tom Thibodeau a contract, and one of them should accept, hopefully. Let's see, Chris Finch is here, but I think one of the coaches we offered earlier should be perfect. And let's see which one of them will be accepting. So Michael Stauffer wants to accept. He is not a real head coach in real life, so I would rather have one of the others, but the other 3 head coaches we offered a contract to are not going to be accepting. So let's go ahead and pick up Michael Stauffer and see how things go. And now I'm going to come up with an insane trade with the first round picks that we acquired. I'm going to be targeting Walker Kessler from the Washington Wizards, and the main reason we're going to be targeting a new center is for defensive reasons. Derek Lively is a good defender, but in 2K simulation, Walker Kessler is a better defender. He has an A+ post defense and a B- perimeter defense, whereas Lively has an A post defense and a C+ perimeter defense. To make this trade happen, we're also going to have to take on Malachi Morano and send them Daniel Gafford. Malachi Morano was a rookie. I'm pretty sure he ends up progressing into a pretty good big man in 2K simulation, so he could be our backup center going forward. But let's see what the Washington Wizards say, and they accept. We probably could have got a first round pick out of them, but it is what it is. This offseason, we're going to be prioritizing our defense and making our defense a lot better. Last season, in the regular season, we were an average defensive team. Our offense was one of the best, but not our defense. And in the playoffs, we were one of the worst defensive teams, even though we had the 2nd best offense. So getting ourselves a player like Dyson Daniels as our new shooting guard should help out our defense a ton. Sadly, we're going to have to trade away Brandon Miller, but we got to do what we got to do in order to win. So let's go ahead and offer the Orlando Magic Brandon Miller for Dyson Daniels. We could probably get a future first round pick out of this. Let's see if we can. And they declined. They want Ian Jackson. We're not giving up Ian Jackson. So let's go ahead and just try Brandon Miller for Dyson Daniels. And they still decline. They want a first round pick. But let's go ahead and try throwing them a future first rounder. They want a first round pick this year, which I really don't want to give up. I will give up another swap worse with the Bucks going forward, and we can't do that. But we do give up 2 first round picks and we get ourselves Dyson Daniels. And we also signed ourselves Bobby Portis Jr. this past off season, thinking he would be a good fit for our team, but clearly he hasn't been a very good fit. He was good shooting from the field, but his 3-point shot was not there, and in the playoffs he played horrible. So we're going to be targeting Patrick Williams from the Chicago Bulls to be our brand new backup power forward. He's a good 3-point shooter and also a really good defender. So let's see what the Bulls say, and they accept this trade just like that. We can also get ourselves Andrew Nembhard, who could be our backup point guard or backup shooting guard. He's an amazing offensive player, good playmaker, and above all of that, he's a really good perimeter defender. I don't want D'Angelo Russell from the Pacers, so let's take that out and take out one of these. Or actually, let's just give up 2 first rounders. It is what it is. We don't need those first round picks anyways. We still have the 2nd overall pick and the 5th overall pick. I may just go ahead and select someone here in the NBA draft. I decided we're going to be getting ourselves a new backup center, and Donovan Clingan would be a perfect backup center to have. He's an amazing defender. Having him and Walker Kessler as our 2 big men would be absolutely amazing for our defense. I don't want this 2029 first round pick, and I really don't want to give up Ian Jackson, but we do have to give up Ian Jackson to make this happen. So it is what it is. Let's give him up. We got ourselves Andrew Nembhard anyways. And just like that, we also got ourselves a backup center. And just by the trades we made, our defense should already be a lot better. So we traded away a bunch of our first round picks, but we're still left with the 2nd overall pick, the 22nd overall pick, and the 25th overall pick. Let's see what we can go ahead and get with our 2nd overall pick. We do maybe need a backup small forward in case Jalen Wells is not playing good in the playoffs like this past playoff we just had, or a backup power forward in case Patrick Williams does not play good. But the Denver Nuggets have the 1st overall pick and they take Tyrone Stokes. Let's see who we can select. We can get ourselves Brendan McCoy, he's a point guard. We can get ourselves Alex Costanza, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but there is a few good players we can select here. Hugo is a C+ overall, he's projected to go to pick number 3. Brendan McCoy would be a good get for our team, but we already have ourselves Scoot Henderson and Andrew Nembhard, so getting ourselves another point guard would not make sense at all. So Brendan McCoy is the only player with a Hall of Fame ceiling, so we are going to go ahead and select him. We could move around the positions a little bit, maybe have Andrew Nembhard be our backup shooting guard instead of point guard, and have Brendan McCoy be our backup point guard, depending on how good of a player he is, obviously. I'm not sure what his overall is or how good of a player he is, but we also have ourselves the 22nd overall pick. Let's see who we're going to be selecting here. So we're going to go ahead and select Caden Allen. I have no clue who any of these players are, but the highest overall players here are shooting guards. So I'm going to go ahead and select Caden Allen. We still have ourselves one more pick, and I'm going to go ahead and select this big man to be our 3rd backup center in case some backup center is not playing good. But that's it for the 2027 NBA draft. We got ourselves Brendan McCoy, who's a 79 overall, Caden Allen, and Daniel Jacobson. We will be picking up the team option on Cooper Flagg, Jalen Wells, and Justin Champagnie. I'm not sure if Justin Champagnie will be playing for us. We could use him in a trade, possibly. Qualifying offers, there's no one here. And do we need to re-sign anyone? We do not. So all of our players are locked up on long-term contracts, which is perfect. I'm going to be trading away Justin Champagnie and Jalen Wells, and the reason for that is they're not going to be a part of our rotation anyways this coming season, so might as well send them to a team that can use their services. In return, we are getting 2 players who are pretty low in overall, but I did try taking a 1st round pick from the Sacramento Kings and they're not agreeing for some reason, so let's just go ahead and pull off this trade. This trade is not to make us better, it's more so just to send Jalen Wells and Champagnie to a team that can use their services. We're here at the start of this season with our rotation, and we finally have some players with a 90 overall or higher. Scoot Henderson is now a 90 overall, and Cooper Flagg is finally a 92 overall. So the progression and patience has paid off. Dyson Daniels an 89 overall, 88 for Avdia, 89 for Walker Kessler, so there was a lot of progression. Donovan Clingan is also up to 88 overall. The only problem with Donovan Clingan is sometimes he shoots the ball horribly from the field in 2K simulation, so hopefully he doesn't do that with our team. We're going to be running a 9-man rotation, and our starting lineup is going to include Scoot Henderson, Dyson Daniels, Cooper Flagg, Danny Avdia, and Walker Kessler. And off the bench, we're going to have Andrew Nembhard, Donovan Clingan, Patrick Williams, and Brendan McCoy. And of course, with the moves we made, our defense looks a lot better. We have a lot of 3-and-D players, a lot of good defenders coming off of our bench and in our starting lineup now. So I think we could definitely go out there and win a championship. Let's simulate game number 1 against the Clippers, and we hold them to 93 points and score 118. Scoot Henderson drops 30 points, Cooper Flagg with a 23-point double-double. This season, Cooper Flagg will be the #1 scoring option. His shot tendency is all the way up to a 99 overall, so hopefully he can go out there and average a bunch of points and maybe even win an MVP. So I'll be simulating until the end of this season, but of course if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you guys. I'm going to be giving Deniov the 2-year contract extension. In case we don't win it all in the playoffs, we'll still have him for the next 2 seasons, and he accepts. We win Cooper Flagg his first MVP of his season, averaging 29 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6.5 assists, as well as 2 steals and 1.5 block on amazing efficiency, shooting 52% from the field, 38% from the 3-point line, and 90% from the free throw line. Absolutely amazing season from Cooper Flagg. Jaden wins Rookie of the Year, Trae Young 6th Player of the Year. He's on the bench for the Memphis Grizzlies, which is pretty insane. MyNBA Defensive Player Darius Akuf wins Most Improved, Devin Booker Clutch Player, Michael Stoffer, our head coach wins Coach of the Year, and we also get Executive. We won 71 games this season and lost only 11. Of course, the MVP makes it on All NBA First Team. Let's see if we get anyone else. We do get Scoot Henderson on All NBA Second Team. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. And do we have anyone here? We do get Cooper Flagg also on All Defensive First Team. And we also get Dyson Daniels on All Defensive Second Team. Absolutely amazing. So clearly our defense was a lot better this season thanks to these players I just mentioned. Okay, we also get Brendan McCoy on All Rookie First Team. In the limited minutes he did play, he played absolutely amazing. And we were the #1 seed this time around again with 71 wins and only 11 losses. And here are the player stats for our team in the regular season. So the leading scorer was Cooper Flagg, averaging 29 points per game, and right behind him was Scoot Henderson, averaging 23.5 points per game, as well as 4 rebounds and 9 assists. As I said, I wanted Scoot Henderson to be the main playmaker for our team, and he did a perfect job, averaging 9 assists per game, shooting almost 50, 40, 80 as well. Then we had 17 a night from Deniov Diaz, 7 boards, 5 assists, 14 a night from Dyson Daniels, as well as 2 steals, amazing defense from him, and 11 points per game from our 6th man, Andrew Nembhard. Walker Kessler was also an amazing player for our team as a starting center, the same as Donovan Clingan as our backup center. And in round 1, we're going to be taking on the Phoenix Suns, who have Devin Booker, Lonnie Walker, Tari Eason, Koa Pete, and Mark Williams. And their bench is pretty good as well. They have 4 players that are 80 overall or higher, or actually make that 5 players 80 overall or higher. But I still think we're the better team. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cooper Flagg drops 28 points. Game 2 is also a win for us, but we do lose game 3, and we lose game 4. Okay, we win game 5, and we beat them in 6. That was getting kind of scary, but at least we closed things out. The 6 games we played, Cooper Flagg was the leading scorer, 26 a night. Scoot Henderson struggled from the efficiency wise, but his assists per game was amazing. Now we're going to be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who still have themselves Julius Randle. They have Rob Dillingham, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Randle, Oz Reed. They got themselves Kuminga coming off their bench, Ozzy Noel, Rudy Gobert, and Kevin Porter Jr. I think we're the better team, but let's see what happens. Game 1 we do win. Cooper Flagg drops 33 and 10, and Scoot Henderson is still struggling offensively. I really hope he can pick up that efficiency. We need him playing his A game. Game number 2 is a loss for us. Cooper with 22 and Scoot continues struggling, shooting only 4 of 14. And we cannot keep this up in order for us to win. We need him playing how he did in the regular season. Game 3, we do end up winning, thank God. Cooper Flagg with 42 points, and that's a Scoot Henderson that we need. Drops 33 points and 8 assists, but 42 from Cooper Flagg is absolutely amazing. And then Dyson Daniels had 5 steals on Anthony Edwards. Amazing. We made Rob Dillingham turn over the ball 8 times. Anthony Edwards had 32. He still played good, but let's see what happens here. Game number 4. We also win. Let's go. 40 from Cooper Flag once again, and we gentlemen sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves. We made Anthony Edwards turn it over 4 times and Rob Dillingham 4 times as well. Cooper Flag had 37, 7, and 10, as well as 4 steals and 2 blocks. Scoot Henderson is starting to play good again, 25 points, 7 boards, and 9 assists. And now we are in the conference finals. We're either going to be taking on the OKC Thunder or the New Orleans Pelicans. And it's going to be the OKC Thunder, of course. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's now up to a 99 overall. They have Darren Peterson up to 86, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. They no longer have Isaiah Hartenstein, but they do have Elijah Arenas as their 6th man. So this team has a bunch of young players who have progressed into good players. They also have Andrew Wiggins, Nikola Topic, and Noah coming off of their bench. But hopefully we can defeat them to advance to the NBA Finals. Game number 1, we do win. Scoot Henderson drops 36 points, Cooper Flag with 34. They both combine for 70 points. Amazing. Game number 2 is also a win for us. So is game 3, and we do not sweep them, but we gentlemen sweep them. Cooper Flag wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 33, 9, and 7. Luka Doncic, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's now with the Washington Wizards. Let's see the player stats here for the conference finals before we get into the NBA Finals. So Cooper Flag led the way in the 5 games we played, averaging 33 a night. Scoot Henderson was absolutely amazing, 27 points and 9 assists per game, 18 from Avdia, 12 from Dyson Daniels, as well as 2.5 steals, and 12 from Andrew Nembhard. And our big men are playing good as well. Now we're going to be taking on Luka Doncic and the Washington Wizards. They have themselves Luka, Will Riley, Liam McNeely, Gigi Jackson, and Alex Sarr, who's now up to 92 overall. And they also have Derek Lively in the trade we pulled off with them, which I totally forgot about. They have Carlton Carrington, Bob Carrington, Daniel Gafford. This is a pretty stacked team. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, so they're not going to be easy whatsoever. But luckily, Luka Doncic isn't averaging like 30 points or something crazy like that. Let's go ahead and start simulating and see if we can win ourselves a championship. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Avdia leads the way with 23 points, 22 from Cooper. Game number 2 is also a win for us. Scoot Henderson with 28, Cooper Flag with 26, 8, and 9. Game 3, we're up 3-0 just like that. Cooper Flag drops 41 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. Scoot Henderson with a 26-point double-double. And are we going to sweep Luka and the Wizards? And we do not sweep them. They do end up beating us here in Game 4. Cooper had 36 points, but we did fall short. But we do gentlemen sweep them, and just like that, your Portland Trail Blazers have won a championship. They're the 2028 NBA champions, with Cooper Flag winning Finals MVP on amazing efficiency and amazing offense. Let me show you guys the player stats before we end off this video. We played a total of 21 games in the playoffs, and throughout those 21 games, Cooper Flag was the leading scorer, averaging 31 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. Right behind him was Scoot Henderson, averaging 22 points, 4 boards, and 9 assists, shooting 36% from the 3-point line, 44% from the field. Avdia was an amazing role player, 3rd option for our team throughout this whole video, averaging 17 a night, shooting 50, 40, 80. Dyson Daniels was a really good get for us. He averaged 3 steals a game basically. Per 36 minutes, he would have been averaging 3 steals a night. And his offense was amazing as well. 12 points a night from Andrew Nembhard. I love that we picked him up this past off season. He played absolutely amazing for us in that backup shooting guard role. Now let's check out the NBA final stats, where Cooper Flag was the leading scorer, shooting 60% from the field, 29 points per game, 23 from Scoot Henderson, 18.5 from Deni Avdia, 13.5 from Andrew Nembhard, 13.5 from Dyson Daniels. Donovan Clingan was a really good backup center for us as well. He played absolutely amazing defense and offense. Patrick Williams was a good role player for our team, and Walker Kessler was absolutely amazing. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new for more 2K rebuilds. and comment down below what rebuild you guys would like to see next. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.